Hey everybody out there, I wanted to let y'all guys know that the reason that none of my pictures right now are from the mountain is because I'm not on the mountain right now. Raven and I decided to come down to Texas until the baby was born to be closer to hospitals. The mountain is way too far of a drive to get to hospitals, and the winter was way too bad this year. So we thought it was best to come down to Texas to be really close to hospitals, and Raven's family is also from here, so we have the added support of her family being close by and having hospitals close by. I just want to let everybody know that right now, Raven, River, and I are in Texas. And thank you everybody for all your support all the time. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. God bless. Stay awesome.
Alaskan bush people star Bear Brown is keeping the memory of his late father alive over 4 years after the death of his father, Brown family patriarch Billy Brown. Bear took to Instagram this week to share an old throwback photo of his parents as well as a solemn message about his dad's death. The photo featured his late dad smiling while posing next to his wife, Bear's mom, Amy Brown. The flashback snap appeared to have been taken in front of a snowy landscape, where Billy could be seen sweetly holding onto his wife's arm. "Miss the days when he was still here," Bear wrote across the photo, while adding the same sad sentiment in the caption. Bear's post, uploaded to Instagram on Thursday, August 7th, comes over 4 years after his dad's unexpected death. Billy died at age 68 in February 2021 after suffering a seizure. "Oh, this is so sad," one of Bear's followers commented on his post, while someone else wrote, "Your dad would be proud of you all taking care of your mom the way you all do. We all loved watching your family throughout the years." Another fan chimed in, "He was a great man. Sending love to you and your family." As summer's fading warmth yields to the crisp whispers of early August, Bear Brown, the resolute patriarch of the next generation of the Brown family, paused on Instagram to reflect on a loss that time has yet to soften. In a poignant throwback image dated August 7, 2025, Bear shared a photograph of his father, Billy Brown, beaming beside his mother, Amy Brown, against a wintry Alaskan backdrop. Simple words, heavy with longing, accompanied the image. "Miss the days when he was still here." The caption echoed that sentiment, raw and unvarnished, reminding followers and himself that 4 years later, the void his father's absence left remains deeply felt. Parade Bear, now 38, stands as a living conduit of that memory. His Instagram post did more than prompt a flood of condolences. It revealed how the grief of a beloved patriarch continues to course through the family's daily life. Followers offered empathy through comments like, "Your dad would be proud of you all taking care of your mom the way you all do," while others simply shared a sentiment, "He was a great man. Sending love to you and your family." The Brown family's collective shock at Billy's sudden passing on February 7, 2021, sent tremors of grief that reverberated far beyond the remote terrain they called home. Billy, the family's rugged patriarch, passed away unexpectedly due to a seizure at age 68, while perched on a mountain in Washington. The announcement came from Bear, who broke the news via Instagram with heartbreaking candor. "We are heartbroken to announce that our beloved patriarch Billy Brown passed away last night after suffering from a seizure." Hollywood Life. Not long afterward, in an exclusive chat with Hollywood Life, Bear explained why elements of that traumatic experience, even the episode capturing his father's final moments, were shared on Alaskan bush people. "Billy loved the show and he loved the people so much," Bear said, adding, "We think that the fans and everyone that loves the show deserves to see everything and to see his funeral and all. We discussed whether or not to include it, and we felt like we should include it for sure because we believe that is what Dad would want." He admitted that filming the episode was the hardest episode one have ever filmed. In the years that followed, Bear has become one of the most vocal family members about his enduring grief. A year after his father's death, he wrote on Instagram, "To be honest, it hasn't gotten any easier without him. I still miss him just as much. Nothing eases the pain. I just try to be the best I can for those around me, and I'm trying to enjoy every moment of every day that I have with the ones I love. Live, love, laugh, be free, and remember you never know when it's the last time you'll see someone you care about." Nicki Swift. That same year, Bear also honored Billy's 70th birthday with a reflective tribute. "A day does not pass without thinking of Billy. He was strong, smart, and caring and is missed by all," he wrote. He confessed that Dylan's words felt not as bright without Billy's presence. Other tributes remained equally tender in early 2025. Faithful to a long-held tradition, Bear again marked his father's memory with snapshots and heartfelt captions. "I miss him more than words could ever describe," he wrote, sharing images of Billy with his grandson. River fans responded with empathy. "He was such a great, loving man, and I lost my dad too, man. I understand what you're going through. Here for you, man." This august tribute, a single line nested within a vintage image, may have seemed understated. But for many following Bear's journey, the simplicity was its power. Grief continues, quiet yet insistent. As one Reddit commenter meaningfully noted, 4 years and a week, I know the pain is still there. Hope your memories give you comfort. Behind the Instagram posts lies a deeper truth. Bear inherited not just his father's rugged independence but also his resilience. In that early Hollywood Life interview, Bear spoke of the bush code his father taught him: treating others as you wish to be treated, living free, and respecting all forms of life. "I want to try and pass on the freedom that my parents instilled in me," Bear said, describing his father as always smiling in the face of danger. That legacy is most visible today in Bear's role as a father. When his own son River was born, Bear reflected, "Being a dad myself is quite a privilege. There is a lot that you have to live up to." His own words echo what Billy might have said: to cherish love, to teach through example, and to stay rooted in nature's lessons. All of those moments, from heartbreaking loss to determined continuity, paint a portrait of growth through grief. The Alaskan Bush People show has been off the air since 2022, and the future of the series remains uncertain, but through every Instagram tribute, every memory shared, Bear carries forward a testament to his father's spirit as summer edges toward autumn. And Bear scrolls through photos of winters past. His caption on August 7, 2025, holds more gravity than mere nostalgia. It is an admission that grief endures, that the absence of a beloved parent can't be erased, only honored. His post read, "In full, miss the days when he was still here." That invitation for remembrance, for raw human feeling, resonates still, 4 years later, and so he invites us into that quiet space, not as spectators but as shared mourners. In every snow-touched photograph lies not only the silhouette of a man gone too soon, but also the abiding tribute of a son who continues to walk forward foot by steady foot, memory in one hand and longing, quiet but persistent, in the other. Bear Brown, strong, steadfast, and often stoic, is known not just as a face of Alaskan bush people, but as the emotional compass guiding his family's ongoing journey. On August 7, 2025, 4 years to the day since the sudden and heartbreaking loss of their patriarch, Bear quietly posted a fitting tribute on Instagram, a vintage, snow-dusted photo of his parents side by side, Billy and Amy. His words, understated yet deeply resonant: "Miss the days when he was still here." Simple, unadorned, and unmistakably raw, that brief message carried the weight of irreplaceable absence. The post struck a chord both online and in the hearts of longtime fans. Replies poured into Bear's feed. "Oh, this is so sad," someone commented. Another follower reflected, "Your dad would be proud of you all, taking care of your mom the way you all do." Yet another offered, "We all loved watching your family throughout the years. He was a great man. Sending love to you and your family." Parade Billy's unexpected death in February 2021 after suffering a seizure forged a forever turning point for the Brown family. In his grief-fueled vulnerability, Bear was the one who shared the devastating news on Instagram, writing, "We are heartbroken to announce that our beloved patriarch Billy Brown passed away last night after suffering from a seizure." The message shocked fans worldwide and marked the beginning of a new chapter, one mournful yet resolute. Factual America podcast that candid announcement served as Bear's first act of public grief, and perhaps one of the most courageous. In later reflections, especially to Hollywood Life, he was clear about why such deeply personal moments made it onto Alaskan Bush People. "We thought the fans deserved to see everything what Dad would want. Filming those scenes," he admitted, "was the hardest episode one have ever filmed." Since then, Bear's tributes have come often, each one poignant and raw, fingerprints of love, loss, and longing. On Billy's first posthumous birthday, Bear wrote, "A day does not pass without thinking of Billy. He was strong, smart, and caring, and is missed by all." Celebrating the soap's Factual America podcast years later, he continued that wistful tradition, sharing sentimental photos of his father embracing his young son River, captioned, "I miss him more than words could ever describe." This august tribute may have been quieter, just an image and a heartfelt line, but perhaps in its brevity lay the most profound meaning yet. Grief, after all, isn't linear. It creeps in quietly, surging at unexpected times. Bear's understated post seemed to touch on that truth. 4 years on, the wound remains. One commenter's reflection crystallized this: 4 years and a week, I know the pain is still there. Bear's journey in navigating loss and fatherhood has held quiet but powerful rhythm. In the months that followed his father's passing, he weathered legal struggles, a fragile custody battle, and deeply personal challenges in his relationship with Raven. Eventually, though, the couple reconciled. They remarried in a small and intimate ceremony, a choice that spoke volumes about the family's persistence, the bonds that held them, and the need to heal. Meanwhile, the legacy of Billy's guidance remains ever present. Bear has spoken about learning resilience, independence, and respect for life from his father, the same values he now strives to impart to his own children. Living free, he once said, that's what Dad always encouraged for fans. The Brown family's path has read like rugged poetry, full of beauty, tragedy, and raw truth. Many took solace in sticking with the family through their sorrow. Watching the show evolve from wild outdoor adventures to touching, reflective episodes of grief and rebuilding created a sense of collective witness to the family's survival. Factual America podcast still. Questions about the Alaskan Bush People show's future linger. The series last aired in 2022. Bear addressed rumors of cancellation and assured fans the show was not cancelled, only on hiatus for now, but the viability of continuing without its cornerstone figure remains uncertain. For these reasons, Bear's understated Instagram message holds multiple echoes. It's a flicker of remembrance for Billy, a quiet call to honor the past. It's a nod to fans who have grieved alongside his family. It's also a mark of endurance. 4 years have passed. A new season of grief, of parenting, of carrying on, and of being. 4 years after the sudden passing of Billy Brown, patriarch of Alaskan Bush People, his son Bear quietly rekindled a moment of shared grief on August 7, 2025. In a throwback photo of his parents amid a snowy landscape, his father's arm gently around his mother, Bear captioned, "Simply missed the days when he was still here." In the image, Billy's warm smile against the frosty backdrop spoke volumes, a memory frozen in time that drew an outpouring of heartfelt responses from fans. "Your dad would be proud of you all, taking care of your mom the way you all do," one follower said, while another offered, "We all loved watching your family, he was a great man. Sending love to you and your family." That simple phrase tapped into enduring emotional terrain. 4 years ago, Bear broke the devastating news of his father's death to fans. "We are heartbroken to announce that our beloved patriarch Billy Brown passed away last night after suffering from a seizure." Many waking to that news with blank disbelief, sharing their sorrow as if it were their own. From the very beginning, Bear's grief was public. When the passing was shown on Alaskan Bush People, Bear explained that his father loved the show and he loved the people, and that fans deserved to see everything what Dad would want. That episode, he reflected, was the hardest episode one have ever filmed over the years. Bear continued public tributes on Billy's would-be 70th birthday. He shared a carousel of photos and wrote that the pain of loss has not gotten any easier. "Not a single day goes by that I don't think about him." He wished his father would be proud of him. For Bear, known for his wild energy, love of tree climbing, and frequent howls, grief became a quiet journey. In a deeply personal interview with Entertainment Weekly, he said, "Losing his dad hit me pretty hard. Everyone who watched the show loved and definitely misses Da. I've been trying to keep as strong as I can with both my family and the public." He called his mother Amy the rock, the one standing firm as tears quietly came and family members leaned on one another in keeping Billy's final dream alive. Bear turned to building the North Star Ranch and taught his son River the rugged independence his father prized. He told EW that building and rebuilding became a distraction, an act of honoring his dad's dream to create a sustainable homestead for generations to come. Grief, however, does not exist in isolation. In recent years, Bear's personal life took unexpected turns. In April 2025, he and his wife Raven, married since 2022, announced their separation. They emphasized it was mutual, with no anger behind the decision, pledging to co-parent their 3 sons with love and respect. Meanwhile, the Brown family continued to navigate legal and health challenges. Amy Brown, once declared cancer-free, was airlifted to a major hospital in 2025 after suffering chest pain and pneumonia, prompting public concern as Bird and Bear shared updates of her being placed in a coma to heal internally. The family's dynamics became more complex. Noah Brown filed serious accusations, including allegations of drug abuse and neglect, against his mother and sister Rain during a welfare check, adding strain to their already fragile bonds. At the same time, the family faced mounting legal woes. Alaskan Bush People was officially cancelled in 2025 after 14 seasons amid a lawsuit from Billy's former business partner, claiming unpaid earnings tied to Alaska Wilderness Family Productions. A judge ordered financial disclosures that further exposed tensions within the family. Through it all, Bear remained one of the most vocal among his siblings in honoring his father and continuing his legacy. In Factual America, observers noted Bear's willingness to be vulnerable and honor his father's teachings. Even as he managed crises, both personal and public, fans and followers couldn't help but pour empathy as Bear's recent post quietly marked 4 years of carrying on without Billy. On Reddit, one commenter captured the collective emotion: 4 years and a week, I know the pain is still there, hope your memories give you comfort. Another reflected more broadly on grief's complexity. Grief isn't linear. Amy deserves to have an active love life. All love isn't the same. Through sorrow, separation, health scares, and shifting family roles, Bear and the survivors of Billy's legacy have shown that grief can persist quietly, persistently, and yet propel action. His recent post served not just as an elegy, but as evidence that remembrance remains vital. 4 years on, Bear is writing a new chapter. Without his father's presence, he rebuilds in homestead, in parenthood, in personal identity. With each humble memorial, be it a photo, a line of longing, or even a shared ring passed down, he anchors the past and the present. Miss the days, reads his caption, unsparing in its simplicity. It says nothing more, yet speaks everything: of love undimmed, of absence unhealed, and of life that continues, marked by enduring longing and the resilient quiet of family memory. Each year brings its own echoes of loss. Still, nothing quite softens the ache for Bear Brown. A break in the forest's hush, a flicker of memory, on the 4th anniversary of losing his father, Billy Brown. Those 3 simple words Bear posted on Instagram on August 7, 2025. Miss the days when he was still here, linger like a wind-whispered prayer, tender, unfiltered, and achingly familiar. A snowy throwback photo of Billy next to Amy, arms linked, framed the words, a quiet tribute that reverberated across the digital world as fans rushed in with heartfelt messages. Your dad would be proud, he was a great man. For Bear, that image wasn't a farewell, but a pulse in the moment he carries still. 4 years ago, when Billy died at 68 from a sudden seizure, Bear was the one to break the news publicly. We are heartbroken to announce that our beloved patriarch Billy Brown passed away last night after suffering from a seizure. That moment, framed by public grief, marked the end of an era and the start of one lived in Billy's shadow. The decision to share his grief publicly wasn't instantaneous. But when the show documented Billy's passing, Bear stood firm, telling fans the footage aired because he loved the show and he loved the people so much. Fans deserved to see everything what Dad would want. Even then, filming it was the hardest episode one have ever filmed. Afterwards, Bear's posts became small rituals of remembrance on that first Father's Day without Da. He wrote, I miss Da, I wish I could hear his voice and his laugh. Hold tight to those you love, I miss you Da, happy Dad's Day. I love you more, monsters and critics. And a year later, he capped that grief with resolve. To be honest, it hasn't gotten any easier. Nothing eases the pain. Live, love, laugh, be free. You never know when it might be your last day. Nicki Swift, monsters and critics. But the pain did not drown him. Instead, Bear transformed grief into motion. In an interview, he spoke of how building North Star Ranch, Billy's dream of a self-sustainable homestead, was less distraction and more legacy. It gave us something to do, honoring Da, his final dream, self-sustainable home for generations to come. Still, the path hasn't been steady. In April 2025, Bear and his wife Raven announced their separation. Their 3 sons, River, Cove, and Everest, would be at the center of their continued co-parenting efforts. No anger is behind the decision. They said, we will remain good friends and committed co-parents. Meanwhile, hidden battles surged within the Brown family. Amy, the matriarch who once beat lung cancer, was rushed to hospital in a coma after pneumonia complications. Bear and sibling Bird pleaded for privacy and healing as fans watched anxiously. Tensions erupted anew when Noah Brown filed serious allegations against Amy and sister Rain, claiming drug abuse and emotional neglect. Police welfare checks unraveled more smoke, and Rain's arrest in April on burglary and trespassing charges cast long shadows over the family's fractures. At the same time, troubles reached back to Billy's estate. Legal battles over unpaid contracts and copyright disputes engulfed Amy as executor, tied to a lawsuit by a former business partner claiming unfulfilled earnings. Competitive settlements and court disclosures continued to complicate the family's legacy, yet through upheaval, Bear remains a beacon. Despite the show's official cancellation in 2022, he teased a possible new chapter, Alaskan Bush behind the scenes with Bear Brown, slated for summer 2024, a whisper of continuity. A fan still welcome in his world. Longtime fans empathized with the rawness of his grief. 4 years and a week. I know the pain is still there. Hope your memories give you comfort. I understand exactly how they felt when their dad passed. That's a rough pain. I respect Billy for his faith and the way he built a show. Legacy, they are still getting money from it, and I highly respect that. So frail, so human. Reminded fans grief isn't linear, it softens, flares, and coexists with every decision, smile, and struggle. That Instagram just wasn't an echo of the past, it was a heartbeat now present, vivid, aching to be heard. 4 years later, Bear walks forward, not away from the memory his father planted in him. Whether building ranch barns, telling his oldest story, guiding sons through a landscape of love and turmoil, his father's voice travels in the wind and the howls at dusk. It's the compass he still follows. Live free, live true, and carry love even when it lives now only in memory.